Good afternoon, friends. We are learning our subject data mining 3160714. And in that, we are learning our module 4, that is classification and prediction. So, in the previous lecture, we have started with the Bayes theorem, isn't it? So, that is the statistical Bayes algorithm. We have learned one type of classification algorithm, that was tree based algorithm. Second, we have started, that is the statistical based algorithm. And in that, we want to study Naive Bayes classifier, right? So we have talked of that P of h by x, that is equal to P of x by h into P of h divided by P of x, right? And that is called the posterior probability of hypothesis H. And how we get that? That is from the Bayes theorem. Okay, so informally, this can be viewed as posterior probability, that is equal to likelihood into prior probability divided by evidence. Fine. Predicts X belongs to Ci if and only if the probability P of Ci upon X is the highest among all the P Ck based on X for all K classes. If we say about our Bayes computer, we have two classes. One is Bayes computer is equal to yes, and second one is Bayes computer is equal to no. So what it says that say P of Bayes computer is equal to yes. Okay. For that, whatever is the probability for Bayes computer is equal to no, whatever is the probability. Now, among these two, whichever is maximum, that will consider that X belongs to that C class. Fine. Practical difficulty. It requires initial knowledge of many probabilities involving significant computational cost. Classification is to derive the maximum posterior probability, right? This classification, which is based on this Bayes theorem, that is the Naive Bayes classification algorithm, it is It is what it does, that it is to derive the maximum posterior probability. Fine. Okay. Now let us write it in mathematical terms. Then after we'll start with the particular algorithm. Fine. Okay. So let D be a training set of tuples and their associated class labels, and each tuple is represented by an n-dimensional attribute vector. X is equal to x1, x2 up to xn. Suppose there are m classes C1, C2 up to Cm. Classification is to derive the maximum posterior, that is the maximal P of Ci based on X, right? This can be derived from the Bayes theorem. How we can do that? That is P of Ci upon X for each and every class. We consider Ci by X, and that is equal to P of X by Ci into P of Ci divided by P of X. Now, since P of X is the constant for all the classes, and so we consider that P Ci based on X, that is equal to P X upon Ci and into P of Ci. These needs to be maximized. What we said is this term is constant term. So we need to maximize only this. Fine. So now we want to learn the Navy Bayes classifier, which is based on the Bayes theorem. Okay, so what do we say? A simplified assumption. What we say for Navy Bayes classifier, that attributes are conditionally independent. Attributes are conditionally independent. That means no dependence relation between attributes. If so, what we can say is P of x by Ci, that will be equal to production of P xk by Ci, that is equal to P x1 by Ci, x2 by Ci, xn by Ci, the multiplication of all these P xi by Ci term, right? Now this greatly reduces the computation cost. This greatly reduces the computation cost. Fine. Let me put this way, right? So you can see it properly. Fine. So what do we say is this greatly reduces the computational cost. It only counts the class distribution. If AK is categorical, P of xk upon Ci is the number of tuples in Ci having value xk for AK divided by mode of CID, that is the number of tuples of Ci in D. Right? If AK is continuous valued, Px by Ci is usually computed based on Gaussian distribution with a mean mu and standard deviation sigma. See, typically we are using this algorithm for categorical variables, but if the value is continuous, there also the solution is there. So Navy Bayes gives us the solution for whether AK is categorical or continuous value. Fine. If it is continuous valued, what do we say is usually we are using it as the Gaussian distribution, and for that what do we say is mu is mean and sigma is standard deviation. So for that, what is we say for the Gaussian, that is equal to 1 upon under root 2 pi sigma into e raised to minus x minus mu whole square upon 2 sigma square, and P xk by Ci is Px by Ci, that is equal to Gaussian function where x is replaced with xk, mu is replaced with mu Ci, and sigma is replaced with sigma Ci. Okay. Now you may feel like too much heavy mathematics. Now how to understand? It is damn simple. Let me show you this. Class C1 Bytes computer is equal to yes, and class C2, that is bytes computer is equal to no. The same example we are taking, which we have taken for the tree based algorithms, that were the ID3, C4.5 and card algorithms, right? Same example we are taking, and that is for Navy based classifier. Same data set is there, nothing has changed in this example. Right now what we want is data to be classified. Which data we want to classify? Where the condition is given that age is less than or equal to 30, income is equal to medium, student is equal to yes, and credit rating is equal to fair. Right? For this data, we want to classify whether this is belongs to bias computer is equal to yes or bias computer is equal to no. Fine. Okay. So now, what we want to study? See, data set I have put here in small window, right? You can see that, no issue. And when you are calculating in the note, you do not have the issue. You will be able to see on the page itself, right? Okay. Now, what we want to do? We want to find the P of Ci. What do we say? Two classes are there. C1 is Bayes computer is equal to yes. C2 is Bayes computer is equal to no. Fine? Okay. So now we are finding P of Bayes computer is equal to yes. So total 14 data is given to us. That is 14 rows. And in that 9, the last one, that computer, whether the computer is bought or not, that is bias computer is equal to yes or no. For that we can say that 9 rows are having the value that is yes, and 5 rows are there where we are having the value as no. Fine. So we can say that for probability of bias computer is equal to yes, we'll be having 9 by 40. Total number of elements, I mean total number of rows are 14, right? And for no, it is 5. So its probability, that is P of bias computer is equal to no, that will be equal to 5 by 14, right? So we calculate that in the real numbers, right? See, typically for data mining examples, you can take the values up to maximum 4 digits after the point. Maximum 4 digits after the point. In this example, we have considered 3 points, but maximum you should consider is 4 decimal digits, right? After point. Okay. See, now, but take care. In example, if it is given that you have to consider, say, 6 digits after decimal point, if it is specifically given, then you need to consider that one. If at that point you are consider only 3 digits or 2 digits after decimal point, then you will get wrong answer. This I am saying as it was one question in the NPTEL course, and there this condition was given. It was probably Python for data science course was there, NPTEL course. So over there such condition was given that you need to consider 4 digits after decimal point. And if you are considering 2 digits or you can consider 3 digits, then it will not give you the perfect answer, right? So take care of that. Now what we want to consider is P of X by Ci for each class. So for that, P of age. You can say, why have you considered this age? See, we are having those classes. In the data set, we are having age, income, student, credit rating, right? What actually we want? We want to have the conditions for whatever is given to us. What are they? They are age less than or equal to 30, income is equal to medium, student is equal to yes, and credit rating is equal to fair, right? For this, we need to consider. Okay. So now let us consider, we want to compute for P of X by Ci for each class. Each class, that means which class we are having? They are the bias computer is equal to yes and bias computer is equal to no, right? These two classes are there for us. So now P of age is equal to, means for that value it is less than or equal to 30. Bias computer is equal to yes. So age is less than or equal to 30. This we have to find from here, less than or equal to 30. But bias computer is equal to no. No. Then here, no. Here, yes. Here, yes is there. And here also, yes is there, right? So for Bias computer is equal to yes and age is less than or equal to 30. We are having 2 count. Number of count is 2. So 2 divided by whichever number of rows where we can find bias computer is equal to yes, that we have already seen, that was 9, right? So 2 divided by 9 and that is equal to 0.222. Okay, same way we'll find for p, age is less than or equal to 30, bias computer is equal to no, right? So 3 by 5 and that way you can find it as 0.6. Now you can say how you can find this for bias computer is equal to no is 5 as we have seen. So divide by 5 will be there and age is less than or equal to 30. From those 5 rows where we are having the age is less than or equal to 30, right? So for that we can say it is 3. Okay, that we need to find from this table. This one, yes, bias computer is equal to no, age is less than or equal to 30. Age is less than or equal to 30, bias computer is equal to no. Fine, then yes, bias computer is equal to no and age is less than or equal to 30. For other things, we can say that it is having bias computer is equal to yes. Fine, where the age is less than or equal to 30. So that's what we are specifying here, 3 by 5 that is equal to 0.6. Same way, income is equal to medium. Based on the bias computer is equal to yes. So we need to find the count. So 4 by 9. Then medium, income and bias computer is equal to no. So that is 2 by 5. That is equal to 0.4. Same way for student is equal to yes and bias computer is equal to yes. We'll find the probability. Student is equal to yes and bias computer is equal to no. We are finding the probability. So we'll be able to have the probability of it, that is 0.2. Now credit rating is fair. For that we are finding bias computer is equal to yes and bias computer is equal to no. So for all of this we have found the probabilities. Fine. Now what do we want to find is x upon ci. So p of x based on bias computer is equal to yes. So wherever bias computer is equal to yes, from here age is less than or equal to 30, bias computer is equal to yes. Income is equal to medium, bias computer is equal to yes. Student is equal to yes, bias computer is equal to yes. And credit rating fair and bias computer is equal to yes. So all these four values 0.222, 0.444, 0.667 and 0.667. So all of them we multiply to get the answer for P of x by bias computer is equal to yes. Okay. Same way we'll find P of x by bias computer is equal to no. So for that we can say the second value 0.6, 0.4, 0.2, 0.4 we have to multiply. Fine. So there we are getting the value as 0.019. Fine. Now what actually we want to have is P of x by ci into P of ci. So that way we can say the equation will be P of x upon bias computer is equal to yes multiply by bias computer is equal to yes. That comes out to be 0.028 where we say that P of x by bias computer is equal to yes, we have to take this value 0.0444 and into bias computer is equal to yes, probability of bias computer is equal to yes is 0.643. So multiply that, you will get the answer. Fine. Second one is P of x based on bias computer is equal to no. Multiply by P of bias computer is equal to no. So we'll get it as 0.007. And as we know that for probability, we should always consider the maximum probability, right? So bias computer is equal to yes is having the probability that is 0.028 and bias computer is equal to no is having the probability for this one, what we have found, right? That is the 0.007, right? Based on bias computer is equal to yes is having the probability that is 0.028 and which is more than that of the probability which is based on the bias computer is equal to no class. And so we can say that whichever is the maximum probability X belongs to that particular class, and so bias computer is equal to yes, X belongs to the class, that is bias computer is equal to yes. X means all this. Age is less than 30, less than or equal to 30. Income is equal to medium. Student is equal to yes, and credit rating is equal to fair, right? For that, we can say X belongs to the class that is bias computer is equal to yes. Now, let me give you one more example. You yourself will calculate. I have given you the values, but you need to calculate it yourself. I'm only guiding you, okay? You will do the calculation yourself, okay? Say this is a table given where we can say fruit is given, whether it is yellow, sweet, or long. The properties of fruit is given as three, that is yellow, sweet, and long. Total is also given, right? If we have the total, it will be easier for us to calculate the things. Fine. So we can say that for mango, it is having 350 number as yellow property, 450 number as sweet property, and 0 as long property. Right? So same way the banana and others. The detail which are given in the problem statement are for mango, banana, and others. Right? So the values are given for the properties or characteristics which we consider as yellow, sweet, and long. Right? Now, what do we want to find? A fruit that is yellow, sweet, and long. Now we need to check it out whether this fruit is mango or banana or others, right? So we are doing the calculation. First of all, you will try for mango, then you will try for banana, and third you will try for others. Whichever is having the maximum probability, that is the class our fruit belongs to. Fine. So that's what you need to find, and you will see. Okay. What you will see is the fruit belongs to banana class, right? But that you need to calculate. The values are there in the presentation, but you need to calculate yourself so you can have the idea, isn't it? Now, avoiding the zero probability problem. What is that? Let's see. Navy Bayesian prediction requires each conditional probability be non-zero. What we say? Navy Bayesian prediction requires each conditional probability be non-zero. Otherwise, the predicted probability will be zero. So, what to do? P of x by ci. We want to understand this, okay? So, what do we say is P of x by ci. That is equal to production of probabilities xk based on ci, right? Each class. Suppose a data set with 1000 tuples, income is equal to low 0, income is equal to medium 990, and income is equal to high, that is 10. Now, if this is the case, what do we say is we have to avoid the zero probability problem, right? The conditional probability must be non-zero, right? Okay. So what do we do? Here, this particular income is equal to low is zero value. Fine. So now what do we do is the way to resolve that, use Laplacian correction. or we can say Laplacian estimator. What is that? Let's say that we are adding 1 to each case. That means probability of income is equal to low. That will be 1 divided by 1003. You can say 1000 tuple was there. Why are you doing divide by 1003? Because we are adding 1 to each case. For income is equal to low, income is equal to medium, and income is equal to high. Right? To each and every classes, what we are doing is we are adding 1. Okay, so low was 0, so now it will be 1. Medium was 990, so now it will be 991. And high was 10, so it will be 11. So 1, 991, 11. But now divide by 1003 instead of 1000, because we have added 111 in each class, right? So the corrected probability estimates are close to their uncorrected counterparts, right? So where we are having the probability that is equal to 0 in such case, what we can do is, if you want to avoid this 0 probability, we can correct it using Laplacian correction. Right? Now, Navy based classifier. People can say, you can comment on this, or people may ask it as advantages and disadvantages of this algorithm. So, what do we say? Advantages: easy to implement, good results obtained in most of the cases. Disadvantages: assumption, class conditional independence, therefore loss of accuracy. Practically, dependencies exist among variables, hospitals, patients, profile, age, family, history, etc. Symptoms: fever, cough, etc. Disease: lung cancer, diabetes, etc. Dependencies among this cannot be modeled by Navy based classifier. Right? Now, next, what we want to study is distance based classification algorithms. We have started with the classification and prediction in this module, where we have said that the classification algorithms are of several types, say statistical based, then distance based, then tree based, rule based, right? This categories we have already seen, right? So now we want to study distance based classification algorithms. So typically, two specific distance based algorithms are there. One is the nearest neighbor algorithm, and typically it is said as K nearest neighbor algorithm. And the second one is the nearest hyperrectangle algorithm. But we will study nearest neighbor algorithm for our syllabus. So what is there in this K nearest neighbor algorithm? Select the K neighbors. Who are the neighbors? Whoever are surrounded by me. By me, we are considering the points, right? Or the data points. Okay. So for that particular point, whichever are the neighbors, for them, we can say that we are selecting the k neighbors. After that, the second step is calculate the Euclidean distance. Euclidean distance, yes, you know that. We have already seen that. What is that? Under root of x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. You cannot visualize, no issue. Here it is, right? The Euclidean distance is available here, and that is y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. Fine? Now, so Euclidean distance we find. Now, among these k neighbors, count the number of data points in each category. Assign the new data points to that category for which the number of neighbor is maximum. Okay. Let us take the numerical example and have the idea of this algorithm. This is the Euclidean distance, right? Euclidean distance formula that is already known to you. I just want to show you that. Fine. This is say of category A. This is the category B. Now when new data point is there, where to put it, in this category or this category? That's what we need to decide. Fine. Okay. So now let us take the numerical example so we can have the idea. Okay. Here in the table, we are given the ingredient, its properties, that is sweet or crunch, and its food type. Okay. This is what is given to us. We are given four ingredients here. First one is grape, second is green bean, third is nut, and fourth is orange. Right? You can say why you have taken only four. In this problem statement, four is given. Okay, so we'll be taking that. So their sweet and crunch properties are given, as well as their fruit type is also given. Sorry, food type is given. It is fruit, vegetable, protein, and fruit. Right? So what now we want to do is, we are having tomato and its properties are sweet is equal to 6 and crunch is equal to 4. So now we want to know that what is the food type of this tomato, whether it is fruit or vegetable or protein or fruit, right? So we need to decide that. This is KNN, okay? This is KNN where we need to find the distance and we need to decide whether the given ingredient is fruit or vegetable or protein or what, right? Okay, so what do? Is we are finding the distance between tomato and grape. How to find the distance? Using Euclidean distance, right? So square root of x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square, that is equal to whatever value comes. Fine. So in the table, what is that? For sweet, it is 6. This is 8. For crunch, it is 4. This is 5. Right? So 6 minus 8 whole square plus 4 minus 5 whole square. Right? So that way we are putting the values here and that comes out to be 2.2. Same way we'll find the distance between tomato and green bean. So we are getting it as say 4.2. Same way for tomato and nut and tomato and orange, that are coming to be 3.6 and 1.4. So what should we consider? Hmm? What should we consider? Distance. Distance is less, that means it is nearer, isn't it? Distance is less, that means it is nearer. So as minimum distance of tomato with orange, so tomato belongs to fruit, right? Orange is fruit and tomato is having near distance with orange. So our food is of type orange. It is fruit, right? Food type is fruit. Okay. So next we want to study is rule based algorithm. What it is. If and else rules are there, right? If then rules are there. Okay, so that's what we want to learn. Using if then rules for classification. Okay, so let's see how they are and then after we'll see what to do and from where to get it. Right? Okay, so represent the knowledge in the form of if then rules. So what we do? Rule, antecedent, divide by precondition, versus rule consequent, right? Okay, what do we say? If age is equal to youth and student is equal to yes, then bias computer is equal to yes. Rule, right? If age is equal to youth and student is equal to yes, then bias computer is equal to yes. Fine? Okay. So assessment of rule, coverage and accuracy. So N covers, that means the number of tuples covered by rule R. And correct, that is number of tuples correctly classified by R. Coverage of R is equal to N covers divided by mode of D, right? What is that? D is the training data set. Accuracy R is equal to N correct divided by N covers. Fine. Now, if more than one rule are triggered, then need conflict resolution. So, size ordering, what do we say? Assign the highest priority to the triggering rules that has the toughest requirement with the most attribute tests. Class-based ordering, that is decreasing order of prevalence or misclassification cost per class. Rule-based ordering, that is the decision list. What do we say? Rules are organized into one long priority list according to some measure of rule quality or by experts. Right? Now, what do we say is we want to have the if then rules for classification. Okay. Now, rule extraction from a decision tree. How to do that? See, this is the decision tree we have created, that is using ID3 algorithm. The same we have created using the C4.5 algorithm, and then we have made that using the CART algorithm. Fine. Now, we want to extract the rules, and that is of the type if then rules, right? So we want to have the rule based algorithm. Fine. Okay. So let us derive the rule from this particular decision tree. What we say is age. Age is less than or equal to 30. So if age is less than or equal to 30, or we can say it as young. If we say less than or equal to 30 as young, this 31 to 40 as middle, and greater than 40 as old or adult, whatever you want, right? You can give the name as you want. So what do we say is if age is less than or equal to 30, student is equal to yes, then bias computer is equal to yes. What I have followed is, see, you should traverse each and every branch of the tree one by one. What I have shown you is for yes, I have said the rule. Okay. If age is equal to less than or equal to 30, student is yes, then bias computer is equal to yes. Fine. If age is less than or equal to 30, student is no, then bias computer is equal to no. Fine. Same way, if we follow this path, age, if it is middle age or 31 to 40, we can say bias computer is equal to yes. Now for say age is greater than 40, we need to check credit rating. If it is excellent, bias computer is equal to no. If credit rating is fair, bias computer is equal to yes. Fine. So by traversing the branches of the tree, we can derive the rules. Fine. So this rule we have seen, this also we have seen, this also we know. We just have to now write these rules in the form of if then rules. Fine. So we can say, let's consider for this one, if we want to write the rule for this, if age is middle age, Bias comparator is equal to yes. If age is greater than 40 and credit rating is fair, bias comparator is equal to yes. But if we consider age is greater than 40 or old or adult or whatsoever name we have given, then credit rating, if it is fair, bias comparator is equal to yes. But if age is greater than 40, that is, if age is old and credit rating is excellent, then bias comparator is equal to no, right? So we can simply derive the rules from the decision tree, right? So that is the rule extraction from a decision tree. Fine. Now, next topic which we want to study is neural network classification. Let us see the basics of it. Artificial neural network are creatively crude electronic networks of neurons based on the neural structure of the brain. We say that our brain is made up of the neurons. They process records at a time and learn by comparing their classification of the record with the known actual classification of the record. The errors from the initial classification of the first record is fed back to the new network and used to modify the network's algorithm for further iteration. Mm, got it, not got it. Let me tell you. Very simple example. Okay, let's have the elephant, right? Let's have the elephant available to us. Let me put elephant. Let me put the elephant picture. Okay, let me put 2, 3 element of our what we say is, let me put it here so you can have the idea. This, let me have the photo here. Okay, this is our elephant, right? Now I'll be having one more elephant photo. Let me have the white elephant. Okay, that way it will be better. And one more, let me put that. That is, you can say, baby elephant. Okay, I want to show you, right? So you can have the idea. Baby elephant, yeah, it is. Let me put it here. This is baby elephant. Only baby I want to have. Yeah, this is baby elephant, right? Copy. Now let me show you what I want to convey you. We are talking of the neural network, right? Artificial neural network and how it works. That let me explain you very simply with the example. You can understand that very easily. Okay, let me show you that. Here we can see 3 images. Okay, now if I have shown you the black images, or you can say I have shown you the images of elephants, or you can say black elephants. Okay, now what you will perceive, or you can say what you will have the impression in your mind, that elephant is having black color, his big teeth, then big ears, one tail is there, right? Something like this we understand for elephant. Its shape, okay, something like this pattern is there. His legs, oh, very big, like, okay. So this is what we perceive from this particular picture. If I have only shown you the pictures of black elephants as kid. When you are kid, and if I have shown you the pictures of elephants, which elephants? Black elephants. Now, when I want to test you, what I'll do is instead of giving you black elephant, I'll show you white elephant. So, as a kid, you may not be able to detect it as the elephant because you yourself are having the impression that elephant is always black, right? You have considered all other features, that is, tooth is like this, ears like this, trunk like this, legs like this, tail is like this. Still, you will see that but color was black. Here the color is white. So you may say that this is not elephant. So is it true? No, it is elephant. So what should we do is when the error is there, the real result is already given to you. When the training is there, real result is already given to you. With that only you are training to the model. We are considering kid, same way the machine is there, then you can say that we are training to whatever machine is there. Fine. So when the machine gives the error, then we correct it because we are having the training and its label that this is elephant, these features are of elephants. So that way training data set is used to train the machine. And what we do is there it has detected that this is not elephant, but we have rectified that. Okay, that this is elephant. So next time if something like this comes, then identify it as the elephant. Okay, so that's what we have rectified. If a kid is there, then to that person also we are saying that, see, color is black, that is not mandatory. The elephant can be white also, right? So, kid can modify his own perception about the elephant. Okay, the same way we do for machine. Okay, now if I show you the picture of baby elephant, you as a person, as the grown person, you will definitely detect that this is the elephant. But what about the kid, small kid? Will that person be able to detect? Probably, because big ears are there, the trunk is there, tail is there, and big legs are also there. If not, then we need to rectify that kid. We need to rectify the machine that this is also elephant. It may be baby, it may be adult, doesn't matter. But these are the features of the elephant, right? So this is what we train to a kid. Same way we train the machines, right? Same way we train the machines, and for that we are using the model of our brain, and that is called the neural network. Using neurons network, that is the neural network. Using that, we want to do the classification, and that is neural network classification. That's all for today.